Yeah, so I'm Justin Janulewicz, now 26 years old. Back when, when I was with you in the RSC days, I was quite a lot younger than that. But I used to play, like I said, I used to play soccer under you at RSC, and then kind of moved on to other clubs and such. I played high school at Utica. But when I was 13, I stumbled upon being a referee as well. And just like how you were talking about my dad was also the one that was just pushed me into doing it. One day I was just like, oh, I wonder what it's like to be a referee. And then, a couple months down the line, my dad's like, oh, I signed you up for the referee class, not thinking like that it actually would happen or something.
Right.
So yeah, and then down the line, more and more games, kind of enjoyed it more as a referee than as a player. Felt like I probably made it, a lot further as a referee than a player as well. So yeah, now striving to get to that national referee level. So currently, this is my second year as a regional referee.
Fantastic. Let's go back to when you were 13 and you started reffing. So I was coaching you around that time. I had no idea you were reffing. Um, so what was it like as a young 13-year-old? What were some of the early experiences you had as a ref at the very beginning?
Yeah, I mean, as being a young 13-year-old, like not really knowing much about like what it's all going to entail or such. Luckily, I came across a lot of good mentors, during that time, and everyone, in the referee community, like when you tell them like, hey, this is like my first game refing, just kind of help me through it, sort of thing. Like everyone's more than happy to help and welcome and all that stuff on what kind of game, whatever little league game you may be on and such, right? And then next thing you know it, I get paid like 25, $30 cash as a 13-year-old. I'm out here like, wow, I'm making more money than, all my other classmates, in school with me, right? So here I am able to pay for my own like McDonald's meals and not have to ask my parents for it. It's fantastic. But so yeah, so it's great, like I said, I recommend it for anyone, especially like if you have kids, and like it kept me in shape too. I think like looking back, I don't think I was ever like the most athletic soccer player at the time, when I was younger and such. But looking at how I was as a referee now, like to when I was as a soccer player, like I think my fitness as a referee is like strived like so much higher than like where I could have been as a soccer player.
Yeah.
So it's a big difference for sure. It's a big difference, kind of like fitness and such on top of that. But yeah, as a 13-year-old, I would never expect it to be where I'm at right now as far as a referee for sure either.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. So, looking back at soccer as a whole, what drew you to the sport at the beginning?
Soccer has always been that sport that's always been involved with my family and friends, like growing up in my neighborhood, like we had like a bunch of us all playing for the same team. Like we all played for like Vardar East when we were younger, and then we all kind of moved on after that. But it was just, that one sport that kind of brought everyone together and made new friends and all that stuff through that sport. But also it was just really like the sport that really got introduced to me a lot through whether it be watching TV, playing video games, things like that. It really drew me to it. Just kept continuing on and on as a player, and just kept sticking with it. Really.
But funny you bring up video games. If I'm not mistaken, you might have
Oh boy,
played eSports in college. Can
I
you tell
did.
us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I went to Oakland University for my undergrad. I'm back for my graduate now, but when I was there for my undergrad, I did start up the Rocket League club at Oakland University I think I was a freshman or sophomore. And then at the end of my sophomore year, beginning my junior year, Oakland University announced that they started an eSports program specifically under their varsity program. So they're basically handing out scholarships to play video games. So luckily, the team that we had already within the club was already at a pretty high standard where they basically just transferred us in from the club to the eSports program on the varsity program. And yeah, we ended up being a pretty good team. We went to the World Championships in Dallas, going in as probably like one of the lowest rated teams there from North America. But from we in the first round, we were able to beat Germany, who was the number one seed from Europe. So it was a pretty spectacular moment for sure, and pretty a very high moment in my esports, I guess, time as well. So luckily, I mean, it was a nice way to end off college and such through that as well. But yeah, so a
Yeah.
little bit known in the esports scene too, I guess, or at least was, not so much anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Rocket League is a soccer-specific game. You're driving
It is. It
around,
is. It all
mashing
links
into a ball
together.
strategically. So, yeah, there's a lot of overlap. Tell me a little bit about that. Is that something where all of the teams flew in to the same site and you played in person? Was it
Yeah.
over LAN? What did that look like?
So we were in Dallas. We were in at what was the I forget what the complex or the it's like one of the convention centers names there.
Okay.
So yeah, everybody. So we qualified through the league in North America, finishing in the top 6 of the East, and then the top 6 from the West also like were able to qualify, and then they brought in, I think it was like 6 or 4 teams from Europe to play in it as well. So we all
Out
just
of
kind of
sheer
qualified.
curiosity, are there uniforms in esports? Like, is your team wearing the same gear?
Yeah, we do. We have jerseys. We have jerseys.
Awesome.
So we all wearing the same jersey. Yeah, so we all have it with our names on the back and such. So yeah, I have like literally like a collection of jerseys in my closet from the esports times and all that too. So.
Oh man, that's amazing. I'd love to see one of those one day. Kicking it back to the time that you played on a youth team that I was the coach of, can you kind of share what you remember from the team culture and the environment that we tried to build with that team? What was that like playing for that team?
Yeah, I mean, I think the culture was amazing. I think it was very much like not so much like, oh, we're here to win, and just strictly like you're playing to win this game and that's it. There's nothing more. Obviously at that age it was a little different and we're all there. I felt like more like a group of friends that happened to be a little bit good at soccer, and we ended up winning games, losing games, but most of all we had fun, and we were able to learn a thing or two, especially from you as a coach, to able to apply and into whether that be as a future as a referee or as a future as a player for some of those guys as well. Yeah, it was a great environment for sure. A lot of fun memories from that time.
Yeah, so that was, I don't know anymore, man, but probably 10, 15 years ago. Are you still
Something
in
like
touch
that.
with any of those guys from that team?
Honestly, I don't think so. I can't really think of anyone that's kind of been in touch. I'm sure like I've honestly probably came across them maybe as a referee at this point, right? If they're still playing, whether it
Right.
be some beer league or something at this point, right? But yeah, nothing in particular staying in touch.
Okay. Okay. And any lessons or takeaways from back then that might have helped you become a referee or an esports player, or any of the experiences you had afterward that you could point back and say, hey, that was actually helpful to help me develop?
I mean, it's so long ago, it's hard to remember what specifically, but like in the generics of things, I mean, you've always been very you've already been strong on us on making sure that we continue to practice and stay on top of it, right? Because you never know where you may end up and such, right? So it's not about like giving up and just say like, oh, if you have to have one good touch or one good save or one good shot or something, it's not enough. You got to keep going for more and more, get it repetitive. So doing things like that, like practicing and being able to continue to learn in different ways to strive to be better, I think was one of the bigger things that I've gotten from that.
Okay. And, looking now, you're in your mid 20s. Is there anything that you would want to pass on to the younger generation that they could make the most of their time within soccer and beyond?
Yeah, I would say definitely, finding those people to work around to have that similar strive as you to like work together to help get to that next level is very helpful, because when you have that community or that that someone that you can lean on that's going to push you to be like, hey, like you can do better, like you just keep trying at it, sort of thing. Having someone like that is very helpful. And like, and that doesn't necessarily need to be another player. It could be like like your coach or even the parent, or who knows who it may be. It might not even be it might be like a spectator or something that keeps coming to your games over and over and over, and they just are able to give another insight on it. So like having that like support system to help push you further, I think is very valuable.
Okay. Awesome. Anything else you'd like to share about your experience or the role that soccer has played in your life?
Oh man, the role that soccer's played in my life is huge. Being where I'm at now as a referee, it's being able to, officiate the highest level of semi-pro in the whole country, some lowest level of professional in the whole country is an honor. It's not enough for me. I want more. I want to get higher for sure. But it's definitely, it's giving me it's made me the who I am today, not only as like a person, as like my personality and all that stuff, but also in just like what I want to strive for my future and what it drives me to. Like you said, I'm in my mid 20s now, working a full-time engineering job as well. So it's like, trying to get those life balances and all that stuff. But the ultimate goal and passion for me is to get to that professional level as a referee for sure.
Yeah. Where can people find you? Where can people follow Justin in today's day and age?
My Rocket League account on there is JCubedRL. Yeah, that's on Instagram. It's my name as well. So I mean, yeah, it's not really too active on social media anymore. But I guess maybe tuning into the Michigan referee community and their social media stuff. Sometimes they'll post if we're on some kind of professional match or something. They may post that, and you can maybe follow on TV if I get there. So.
Yeah, well, that's what we're looking for, man. We want to see you officiating in the MLS. We want to see you officiating in the World Cup that's coming up in a few years, and just stay with it. So it's a lot of pride on our end seeing what's become. I see a lot of confidence and personal development in you from many moons ago when I was your coach. And
Yeah.
good luck to you with everything, man. But thanks
Oh,
for
thank you.
today. Yeah,
I appreciate it.